Alright guys, I think we're into the last video of the August of 2014 Howler Hustle comic book haul. And hopefully by now, I don't need to explain where these books came from again, and stuff like that. Because it's been days for you, minutes for me, seconds even. And, I made some fine coffee just because I'm reusing the cup, but this is the coffee I make, So, good stuff. Alright, so what we have here is Legion of Superheroes, and I think some Teen Titans stuff of the, the 80s and on up and stuff. Legion of Superheroes is one of those books that, it was one of the first books that grabbed me in these little digest of adventure comics. And I started out writing the Silver Age stuff that was in those books by Kurt Swan. And then all of a sudden, I started realizing this was the same Legion that was in some books of my uncles, my stepdad. And all of a sudden, I saw Legion of Superheroes like 300 with this big jam cover. And all these characters were different. There's all these realities and dreams and different versions of the Legion. So I was one of the guys that was hooked. But what I like the Silver Age. I'm the Silver Age guy when it comes to Legion of Superheroes. Because what I like is that it's 1,000 years in the future. They're inspired by Superboy, and they all get these names that, sound silly when you say them: Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad, stuff like that. But it's a retro thing. Over the time of history, they're trying to capture that feel, the romanticism that's probably been told of how Superboy in that era was versus what the reality probably was. So that's where this innocent comes from. That's why they're wearing a cape and the bright costumes and stuff. They're trying to emulate, 1,000 years of Superman stories, much like our Robin Hood and King Arthur and all this stuff, I think you follow me. So you ready to look at the books? Alright, and there's some other stuff in here, don't get me wrong, but I think the majority of it's that. Okay, so yeah, there's some other stuff mixed in there. Avalanche. Alright, so here's the Legion stuff. Okay, we'll go to that. There's a little Titans book stuck in there. So anyway, Tales of Legion 320. Legion of Superheroes really didn't become their own book until I can't remember what issue, 294 or something like that. Before that, it was Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. So Paul Levette's. They had a lot of people on here. Mike Grell, Jim Shooter. Oh, do not go blank now. Jim Starlin took a shot at it, but he used the name Steve Apollo on it. A lot of people, a lot of big names kind of took off on the Legion, but Paul Levette's came on there, and I think Heath Giffen came on there, and that's where it just took off. Now, this is the 5 years later story where there was a Dominator War. The Dominators had come back 1,000 years later and covertly messed up everything with United Planets, and all the characters were coming back and they weren't using their superhero names, and it was getting the Legion back together. Real dark. A lot of people didn't like it. I dug it. I liked it. There's number 1, and I think this came out like in '89. It was 5 years later. So there's a lot going on. And then you go back to the Prestige format that came out like in '84. Steve Lytle came on. And it's amazing. Steve Lytle was not on that book very long, and he designed a few new characters like Tellus and some other people for for the Legion, and people still remember those issues. He is considered a great Legion of Superheroes artist, and he wasn't on there that long, and he did a lot of covers. Alright, so this is a mix of several series of the Legion and the Legionnaires, spanning from the 80s, the early 80s to the late 80s, early 90s, and then we're into the far 90s. This ties into Final Night. And the way that Ferrolad died under the hand of Jim Shooter was there was a sun eater eating the sun, and Ferrolad sacrificed himself. So, yeah, just a lot of Legion books and stuff. Brainy's Lucky Day. Yeah. Okay, great stuff. Great stuff, Starman and Legion Academy, great stuff. So it's one of those things where you can play around with different eras of the Legion. I think all the reboots starting in the 90s killed them, but a lot of people have stuck to it. And of course, I would, like I said, when it's one of the first books that really kind of grabbed you and it was your own thing and stuff, yeah, that was alright. So, alright, now we got some Titan stuff. Well, first we have some Infinity Incorporated. Yeah, I'm picking up all the issues of this. This was Earth 2 stuff before Crisis messed it up. Second generation. The first generation of heroes, these were their kids, like the Justice Society. Ray Thomas really nailed them. Oh, more Legion stuff. This is Legion Worlds. This was a mini-series that Abnett and Lanning did. And those are the guys that kind of made it responsible for the Guardians of the Galaxy movie be able to be made with their reboot with Keith Giffen and stuff of the Marvel stuff. I've been talking for a long time, man, so I'm going a little bit blank. But this has different artists on it, each one, and they're really good. Mike McComb, Sally Punwick, Oliver Copetti. Now we're in the Teen Titans. You got Armageddon 2000, where 2001, where who was going to be the Monarch, and Wave Rider was riding around, and he would touch a character and be able to see their future. Teen Titans Index, which is really good. Teen Titans Annual, that tells the story of Brother Blood. I always wondered why he was considered so evil. And I think this is art by John Byrne and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Alright, I think he inked John Byrne. Alright, the Prelude to Blackest Night I didn't know about. I'm going to check this message. They keep messaging it over and over. And I'm back! Alright, yeah, getting silly, getting punchy. Teen Titans Annual. This is some good stuff. How rude. Alright, then we get into Teen Titans Spotlight. The Teen Titans under Marv Wolfman and George Perez rivaled the X-Men. Those two books were just in a race of who's back and forth. So finally they did a spin-off of Teen Titans Spotlight. So that, in an arc or a single issue, you would get to see a Titan have their own little story. And I've read very few of these. So it's kind of cool to have them. I think I just love that. Jackson Geis, Butch Geis doing some art there on Hawk. Changeling. Aqualad by Eric Larson, early Eric Larson work. John Ostrander. Eric Larson did some stuff. Brotherhood of Evil. This is the one I want to read. I think I've actually read this back in the day. Joe Orlando cover for you EC comic nuts and stuff like that. And these are from '87, so I was like 14 when these came out. Wonder Girl, never saw that one. Got a little Nightwing. Then we went back to Millennium with Starfire. Some Cyborg. And I think I got a Teen Titans Spotlight. That was J. Michael Straczynski's first comic book work on him. And then this is like this is one of those Teen Titan one issue stories that I remember from when I was a kid and stuff. When I get those. Siege. Some of these are upgraded. The Hive. Right before they went to prestige format. And I think they went up to 58 issues. The 59th issue was retailing the first story of the new Teen Titans getting together. In the 60s, started reprinting the #1 of the Baxter series. You got that? You need a scoreboard. So, yeah, even though they were called Tales of the Teen Titans, they weren't at quite the reprints yet. Okay? And the Baxter series was going on while they were finishing up the newsstand edition. Number 50, where Wonder Girl got married, and all hell was rich. They brought in Rich Butler because George Perez was doing the prestige format, then he went on to do Crisis on Infinite Earths. So he was kind of tying up some loose ends, and he was bringing in Cold who would get killed. Introducing some characters that were already popping up in the prestige format, but you had to wait for the newsstand edition to get the whole story. The Deathstroke issues, I think I'm real lucky to get those. Yeah, Ron Randall. Yeah. So there you go. Closing up a lot of stuff. Whoops, Fearsome 5. Cyborg was supposed to, they tried to make him look human. Yeah, I got doubles. So good stuff, good stuff. Man, I got doubles on a lot of stuff. Alright, more Teen Titans. And then we get into the Baxter series, right? This is definitely an upgrade. These are some beautiful white covers. And I can never find number 20. I think number 20 is the one I need. And I'm going to laugh if it's in my shelves. But number 20 of the Baxter series is the one I really need. Yeah. 28. Man, you guys are hanging in there, man. Brother Blood, Rain of Blood, Wally West is the Flash, Raven by his side, the church going on. And this is where it kind of, I'm not saying went downhill, but even Marv Wolfman said that he stayed on there too long. Infinity Incorporated crossover, Raven Reborn, The Darkness of Trigons, Lefter. Never read this one, so I can't tell you anything, but I got 2 of them. Yeah, so this is, you know, the legacy of the Titans coming on. I mean, in the 40s here, no idea, but in the 50s they were fixing what the Crisis on Infinite Earths did, and they were telling the real story of Wonder Girl and turned her into Troya and stuff, and that's where the book kind of picked up because George Perez came back. Alright, I've still got more. What am I doing sitting here talking about books that are into this? Okay, number 49. Okay, so yeah, there's a bit of a dip in popularity, and then you know, Perez coming back kind of rejuvenated things. George Perez was back. People were like, yay, they're back together. Here's 57, 58, and then they brought in Tom Grummett. You know, so, you know, well, Perez is in there too. 59. So now we're in an era of Teen Titans that I did not read these, and then the Titans got another boost because they crossed over with the Batman. You know, the new Teen Titans here. So, good stuff. A Lonely Place of Dying. 63. Yeah. And then we got Deathstroke coming in there and all kinds of things. Never read this. There's the Joker on a Mississippi lottery boat. Mississippi. Mark Twain in it. More Deathstroke. More just, you know, oh God, we're putting the Titans through hell. When Titans die. Can't believe they killed Golden Eagle. Man, that's a double-sized one. This is cool. We're going to stop here for a second. Okay. Number 71 from 1990. And it's got a big promotional thing for Predator 2. Is that not cool? You won't get that in a trade. Alright. More Titans die. I think this is where we were at. Some more Titans die. And then they start bringing in new characters to replace them. Phantasm, I think that's what his name was. Started bringing in more and more. Panther. You know, updating it for the 90s. You got to keep up. But yeah, I talked to Marv Wolfman when I was in line to meet George Perez, and he signed some stuff. We talked about his Total Eclipse, you know, story for Eclipse Comics in the 80s, and along the lines, people were asking about the Titans. I heard him tell somebody, he brought in the Teen Titans. I heard him tell somebody, yeah, I might have stayed on there a little too long with the Titans. You know, he felt like he should have moved on way before. But you get the point. You get the point. Yes, there's Titans. Oh, look at this, the Homage Studios swimsuit issues of the 90s. That stuck to a comic. And then I got some new universe, The Pit, Justice. I was curious. And the Legion of Superheroes. Alright guys, thanks for hanging in there. The last 2 videos might have been weak, but I just went through over 400 comics probably. 350 to 400, who knows. And I'm tired, and it made me sweat, and I'm going to take a shower, and I want to have company come over, and I want to smell good. It's always good. But I want to have coffee breath. Alright guys. Later. I can't get to the button.